Hey, what's up? Hello! It is days 2 and 3 of Vlogmas, and we are going to talk about some books that I want to read this winter. I am so excited about these. I am recently released from the shackles of my reading slump. I'm on a rampage. I am simply on a rampage. So I want to talk about some books. Most of these are winter themed, but I have a variety of books here. I have a couple of thrillers, some romance, some fantasy. So we're going to talk about the books that I plan on reading during the winter months. And when I say winter months, I'm talking about December, January, and February. So I have 10 books here and I am so excited to get to them. And let's get started. The first book that I want to get to this winter is Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. This is actually my book club's book pick for the month of December. This is like really what I have heard, a really interesting take on the one-by-one trope. So we have 8 strangers, 1 killer, nowhere to run. And let me tell you, I am so excited to be snowed in. Oh my gosh. That was like one of my favorite parts of last winter was when we were snowed in. And the reason is because in my backyard, and if you have followed my channel for a while, I have put some videos of this up in my content, but we have the most beautiful backyard, so many trees, it's very enclosed, very private. And when there are no leaves and the snow is just all over the limbs, what are they? Tree limbs? Branches? Limbs and branches. It is so beautiful because we also have a red bird. We have a red bird that loves to sit on our trees. So that, like, the wintry white landscape with the red bird, oh my God. I need to put ice in my toilet. I want it to snow so bad. Anyway, I have heard some really good things about this book. I've heard that people love this take on the one-by-one trope. So I'm excited to get to it. And if you're interested in joining my book club, it is on Fable. It is free to join, free to participate. I will leave the link in the description and also a picture here of what it looks like. It is free to join, free to participate. You can search me up on Fable. It's called Hammer Time Book Club, moderated by me. It's very low key. There are no meetings, no video chats. I love the Fable app because being in book clubs is really simple and spoiler free. So I announced the book and it's sectioned off by chapters. So as you read the chapters, you can unlock them, leave a comment, respond to people. You can interact as much or as little as you want. And then at the end, there's like a reflection tab where you can rate it, give your thoughts and review. It's suitable for everyone, no matter what kind of socializing levels you want to reach that day or that month. And you can do as little or as much as you want. So if you're interested, I will leave the link in the description and you can join and read Darcy Coates with us. Next up is a book that I'm actually in the middle of reading on my Kindle. It is A Novel Christmas by Charity. I want to say Shanae because there's an apostrophe at the end, but I will also leave the cover here. Oh my gosh, I am eating this book up. I'm eating it up. I'm eating it up. I'm about 20%. It is a romance, a Christmas romance, and I haven't read romance in a long time, which is why I'm really loving Christmas right now because it is really putting me in the mood for romance. And I really want to diversify my reading as far as genre goes. So this one is something that I am eating up. I'm eating it up. We have Soraya, who is a romance author, and her last 2 books didn't really do as well to her standard. And her agency was like, Soraya, we gotta step it up, girly. You are going to write a Christmas romance. And in order to do that, you are gonna take a week off. You are going to get in the Christmas spirit, and you need a concept to me in about a month. So Soraya visits this place, and it's a real place. It's called Santa Claus. It's in Indiana, I believe. She meets a man, a very handsome, delicious man, by the name of Dorian, who lives in Santa Claus, and he's going through his own set of issues. Obviously, they come together, and it is just, I love this story. I'm 21% of the way through. I'm reading it on my Kindle. It's very short. I believe it's a novella. It's about 260 pages in length. So this one is really, really cute for Christmas. I'm loving her. I'm eating her up. It's a Black Christmas romance novel. So it's just warming my fuzzy little heart. And oh, This is exactly what I need. It's putting me in the Christmas spirit and it's doing everything that it needs to do. So that's a good one. The next one is another Christmassy book. It's called The Merriest Mistress by Timothy Janofsky. I actually hauled this and talked about it on my channel in my book haul, book shopping vlog video. This is male-male romance, and we have Patrick and Quinn. They've been married for less than a year, so they should be in their honeymoon phase, but I'm not sure it's really going that way. One of the husbands may have killed Santa Claus. Yeah, I think that's what happened. So they have to fix that. And without Santa Claus, there is no Christmas. So they have to deal with this. Their marriage is kind of on the rocks, and now they have this other wrench thrown in their Christmas plans, their marriage plans, and they're having to deal with it. So I think this is a really cute one for Christmas. I love that there's a really extreme and dramatic conflict that is really drawing me into this. And like I said, I want to diversify my reading. So we have a romance, we have male-male. I've never read a male-male book, so I'm really excited about this. And it's pretty short too. It's only 300 pages. It's like right at 300 pages. So we have this little guy here. Next, I have Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. I read and loved Ate Up, Scrumdiddlyumptiouslicity. What? I loved Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. So a cozy fantasy set in a bookshop, same character, same author. Sign me up. Hand me the pen. Add me to the sign up sheet. I'm all over that. I don't really know what it's about, but high fantasy, first love, and secondhand books. Things that really speak to me spiritually. I will be listening to this on audio and following along physically, but cozy fantasy in the wintertime, a glass of wine. That was kind of a bar. A glass of wine, a latte, hot cocoa by the Christmas tree. Oh. Honestly, what other options are there? I don't think there are any. So this, I believe, is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, but it came out after. So I have obviously read Legends and Lattes, and we're following Viv, who was the main character from Legends and Lattes, before we get to that part of her life. I don't really want to know much more about it because I really loved the characters in Legends and Lattes, and I think this might be different characters. So I don't want to know anything about these people. I'm just gonna read it. There's Big Viv on the cover eating a pastry. That sounds about right. I'm so excited about this one. Oh my gosh. Hilarious, heartwarming, and wholesome as heck. They couldn't even cuss on the blurb because it's so wholesome. I am so excited. Next. The next one I have is another Christmas book. It is All I Want Is You by Fallon Ballard, and I'm actually going to, I believe, buddy read this with Jan, who I just featured on the channel a couple of days ago. Another holiday romance. This one's a shorty as well. I'm really loving these holiday vibes. I'm really getting into it. I am really excited about this one. I love how short it is, and I'm eating up some Christmas romance right now. I don't know what it is. There's just something about a Christmas themed romance book, a short one that you can just eat up, even though you know how it's gonna end, you know what's happening. It's just something so heartwarming. It just makes me feel so fuzzy inside. Oh my goodness, I love it. I know nothing about this except the tagline, exes, professional rivals, just one bed, what could go wrong? I believe the female main character, her name's Jessica, and she's a romance author. So we're seeing kind of a theme here with the Christmas romances. And I love that in a book. I love books about books. So this should be really fun. I actually hauled this one as well in my book shopping vlog with Jan. So we're gonna read this together. I'm super excited. And I have a really random one, but I really wanna get to it. It is Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. I read All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby and absolutely devoured it. I've actually started reading this already. I'm about 7% in, but it's something that I want to get to. I want to read S.A. Cosby's entire catalog, and this will be my second book by him to read. So the little tagline of this one says, a black father, a white father, two dead sons, a quest for revenge and redemption. We have Ike and Buddy Lee. Their sons were married, and that is not something that was super accepted at this time. They actually got murdered for it. They were together, they died together, and it was obviously a hate crime. And these two fathers who I think were struggling with their son's sexual orientation and their lifestyle, they were struggling with it, but obviously now that their sons are gone, it's a very emotional journey, lots of learning, lots of growing. They come together and they want revenge. They are going to find you. Whoever did this, I don't know who did it yet, but they are going to find whoever did this to their sons. What I love about S.A. Cosby is that his books are so descriptive. I feel like these would be great movies. So I really enjoy the journey of reading an S.A. Cosby. Sorry, I lifted my camera up just a little bit. But the audiobook narrator for S.A. Cosby's books, oh, his voice just sounds like Christmas to me. I am definitely going to be enjoying reading Razorblade Tears. I've heard nothing but amazing things. Next, I have another book that I have already been talking about on my channel. It's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and this is just such good winter vibes. It's fantasy, so that always just gives a good winter vibe. We're set in France. We're following Addie LaRue. She's not enjoying where her life is going and feels like she has no control over her own destiny, over her own freedom, and that's all she wants. So she makes a really interesting decision that involves a god, magic, and her whole life changes. So we are following her in this journey. This is a little bit of a chunka fantasy for Christmas, and in the winter, it just does it for me, I think. We're only about 70 pages into this, but I'm listening on audio and following along physically. Loving it so far, eating it up. I will definitely continue to update you guys on how that is going, but I won't talk a lot more about it because I've been talking about it. Next I have another fantasy. It's The Maid and the Crocodile by Jordan Afueco. I don't know much about this book except that it's black fantasy and there is a maid and a crocodile. So we're gonna get into this. Even the smallest spark can start a revolution. A riveting, thought-provoking fantasy from New York Times best-selling author, put some respect on her name, Jordan Afueco. So, you know fantasy, it's all political, and I think that is not anything different with this book. I don't know anything about it except this cover is absolutely stunning and that Jordan Afueco is a beloved friend of mine. So I definitely will be reading this and enjoying this. It's pretty short. It's under 300 pages. So I think it'll be a fun, quick fantasy read for the winter time. Oh, I'm so excited. Just talking about this is getting me just in such the holiday spirit. I am eating everything up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's what we have here. Next, I have A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams. I know nothing about this book except that it's written by Tia Williams, and I loved 7 Days in June by her. And I'm definitely feeling more in a romance mood right now. One florist, one pianist, one love story, 100 years in the making. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming there's love, there's songs, and someone named Ricky Wilde. I don't know. I love going into books blind. I think that's my new tea. Especially, I mean, it's a romance. So, you know, what really could happen? I guess it could be sad. Oh my gosh, is this sad? Am I gonna cry? I'm processing. Please hold. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's gonna happen to me with this book, but I'm excited nonetheless. I've heard a lot of really good things about it. Of course, Kennedy Ryan has blurbed this. Tia Williams writes instant classics, and A Love Song for Ricky Wilde is the perfect vehicle to demonstrate the rare range and insight that make her writing so special. At turns punchy and poignant, sweeping and yet so intimate, this story will still your heart and surprise you. As Williams' most ambitious work to date, with layers of romance and heartache and history and magic tucked between these pages, it is your next book of the year. And Kennedy Ryan is my girl. So whatever Kennedy Ryan says, that's what we're gonna do. And she says this will be my next book of the year. I don't doubt her. I am really excited to read this, and I don't need to know anymore. But this is that one. And the last book on this list is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. And this is a mystery romance, obviously at Christmas time. And I didn't feel that it would be right to not read like a Christmas thriller crime mystery book. So I threw this one in here. It's not that intimidating. I've heard it's a really fast read as well. It's under 300 pages. We have two thriller authors that loathe each other. Loathing, unadulterated loathing. Sorry. They loathe each other. They both attend the same Christmas party where one of their colleagues goes missing. Their colleague also happens to be like a powerhouse author in their field, and they're going to solve the case together. And what could happen? They fall in love? No. Why would you even ask me that? I don't really know what happens, but obviously that's probably what's gonna happen. Really, all of the Christmas books I talked about I want to get to in December, obviously, because it's Christmas time. I have 10 days to read all of those books. I think I could do it. Yeah, wait, let me see. Yeah, it's just 4 books in 10 days. That's so easy. That is the last and final book that I want to read in the winter months. Here are all of the books. Here are all of the books that I want to get to in the wintry months. I have my Kindle on top for a novel Christmas. But let me know what you plan on reading in the wintertime. I love how diverse this list I have put together is. I'm going to try really hard to read more outside of my comfort zone because I think that'll help prevent reading slumps. And that's what we want. I never want to feel like I'm forcing myself, but let me know if you've read any of these, if you want to read any of these, what you've heard, what's on your wintry TBR, or as I like to call it, TBD. But in the meantime, leave a comment down below telling me what you want to see for Vlogmas, and I will see you tomorrow. We have a different kind of setup here, but if you were wondering, the door is that way. So you can just make a, is it a left? What would it be? A right? You can make a right on up out of here, or a left, whatever direction that is for you. All right, I'm just gonna read because I'm not doing this with you today. You're not, you're still here. What am I gonna do with you? What am I gonna do with you? Nothing. I'm not gonna do anything with you because I love you. All right, bye.